in for another segment or so. Bishop Larry Brandon from Shreveport's Praise Temple on Greenwood Road. We were talking in the last, always my pleasure. We were talking last segment about the L.L. Brandon III Home for Boys.
Yes.
And the work that you are doing with troubled,
yes.
problematic, disenfranchised.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Reuben and I, about 90 minutes ago, maybe an hour ago?
Not that long.
It was before Levette got here, so
Right.
it was early on. And the TV was on in the studio, and they do sort of every morning, whatever station it is, they do like a list of arrests from the night before.
Sure.
And bluntly speaking, one by one, 4, 5, 6 photos of young black men.
Yeah.
One after the other.
Oh, my gosh.
And
yes.
Reuben and I were kind of talking about that. And the point I made, A, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think I am. But B, what I want you to do is explain how you break not this cycle, but this view of the world. And there was a photo, a picture, a mugshot of one young black man up there, probably, 20? I don't know. Could be.
I think it said he was 23, yeah.
Oh, wow.
The point being, and I said to Reuben, I said, I guarantee you, this is not his first run-in with the authorities. And the point I was going to make was there is a mindset that I think you'll agree with me on here. There is a mindset that in a lot of young black men that the world in jail and the world not in jail really aren't that different.
And I'm glad you mentioned it, and thank you for your brutal honesty.
Am I wrong about that?
No, you're not. You're not at all. Because again, unfortunately, it begins with education with all children.
That you
everyone.
have to break. I just
yes.
want to tee this up for you a little bit.
Yes.
That what do you do? And I would imagine that sort of you said about men have influence
Yes.
on young men.
Absolutely.
Good men have influence on young. The point being,
good men, right?
And so do bad ones,
Right. And
I mean,
unfortunately, the bad ones are more times than not.
So, if in the minds of many, the difference between jail and being home, being in jail or being in the real world, is just not all that different.
Right. Well, we have quite a few of the young men in conversation with them. Many of them have lost hope. I have several
lost or never had.
Or never had hope. And I have a couple of young men that I've mentored who are now family men. They have jobs, seeking, of course, their degrees. They're enrolled in institutions of higher learning, who, when they were young, they didn't expect to live past 25. And so if you don't have a regard for your own life, then you don't have a regard for anybody else's life. And so the question is not what's wrong with you. The question is what happened to you. And so that's the approach that I take. What happened to you for you to be in this particular position? Unfortunately, we live in a society where all life is just not fair. You speak of the young men from the African diaspora. We have young men who try to do good, but when you have someone's evil, there's evil in every culture. But when you have someone's evil who's racist and puts this young man down, pushes him back, doesn't give him opportunity or racially profile, then this young man reverts to whatever's comfortable.
How do you infuse a young man of any race? How do you infuse them with morality?
Yeah. Well, first of all, walking it out before them, number one, sharing with them the benefits of it, and then to really interject love and care and reminding them that they have an opportunity to have a better life. And see, there are many that I've talked to that just feel like this is it for them. And if they feel like this is it, and then that they're going to be, quote unquote, some of them mentioned servants all their lives, then they don't have a regard. They'll do anything. There are those who don't even work. And that's in every culture. But I speak of some of the young men that I've talked to. They don't work, and then they have these side hustles, and most of these hustles illegal or what have you. But I remind them that you're someone's child. Remember, you have a mom or dad. It doesn't matter what the relationship was or is, but you had a mom and dad. You had grandparents. You have those who worked hard for you. But think about yourself. Think about your life. Think about becoming a constructive citizen versus a destructive citizen. And so just you need the right people in their ears often. And we laugh on Sundays. I said, some of you, I only have I only have an hour and a half with you as I pour into you. But then you're going to leave here and you have 6 days with whomever is influencing you, via a positive person or a negative person. And so I share with them, surround yourselves with the right people. Someone said this. They said that if you have a group of people around you that is supposed to be your circle, if they're not challenging you to do greater or better, then they're really a cage. They're not a circle. And so I share with our people, all people, but especially our people, make sure you surround yourselves with positive people, people that you can withdraw from, and they can withdraw from you because you need to make deposits as well. And I share this with the boys, make sure you surround yourself with people who can influence you and pull you up instead of putting you down. And so I believe some of these boys out there, although they have that look, some of these young men have that look like they're tough, they're gangsters and what have you, but behind that mask, behind that wall is a gentle soul that needs freeing. That's caged up, needs freeing. And so I don't care who they are. And hear me clearly, and you know me, and you don't know me as a liar. I share with the congregation, I'll risk my life for the lives of others. I'm not afraid. I'll go into areas. I've gone into a crack house before and pulled one of our members out who is challenged. I'm not afraid. So if I risk my life, if my life is taken that someone else may live, so let it be. Because I know where I'm headed. When I close my eyes, I'm going to glory. But we do need all citizens to be proactive. We need all citizens to be positive, loving, and caring. Because again, like I said, these boys, many of them come in as ruffians. It doesn't matter to me. I love on them. I encourage them, and I stand as an example for them. And I notice how the wall is breaking down. In fact, last night when they came to dinner, there's one young man who often had his headphones on, didn't speak to anyone. He was mean and frowning and just tough guy. But little by little, I just keep pouring into him, sharing positive words into him. Hey, you're going to be great one day. Everything's going to work out. And that last night, that young man didn't have his headphones on. He listened to me while I talked, and he was smiling. And that was the first time since he's been with me, since I've seen him smile.
People cheering for you right now, and I am one of them.
Oh, well, you're too kind.
Happy
Thank
Thanksgiving,
you.
my friend. Always great to see you.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. Thank you so much for having me. It's just a joy and a highlight of my life. One of the highlights of my life.
I'm looking forward to your next birthday.
Thank you.
Praise Temple Bishop Larry Brandon. I will put the video up a little bit later.
I appreciate it, and I'll send you
cheering
info.
for you right now, I guarantee you, and I will put the link to that.
Well, thank you so much.